So the first thing you'll want to do for this repair is pull up this little piece of your carpet, your trunk carpet, and this tray has to come out. And what you'll find is a 12mm head bolt right here. That there's just one bolt that holds it in, but there's also a little clip underneath, and so you have to kind of pry it up and kind of work gently, but you almost have to, it feels like you're going to break something, but what I've already done it on this one, so you have to pull pretty hard to pull this thing out. Actually, I guess I did push it back in, so you can hear it pop out there. And then, so then here's the clip that's inside there, so that has to pop out of that little hole. But other than that, it's very easy to pull out. Now the next, okay, so here's the vent, here's the culprit where I think the mice are coming in. And so then we have, to get this out, first we have to push it out. There's 3 clips across the top and 2 across the bottom. So you squeeze those clips up. This, and this. I've already done this once, so it's a little bit easier. You have to, it's a bit of a fight. And then there's 3 across the top. You have to do the same thing. Just kind of, as you're pushing down on them, push it back out. Okay, and then the vent falls out. And then you have to use a little bit of force now to get that vent out of here. There we go. Okay, and there's the vent. And there's the 3 clips across the top and 2 on the bottom, and you just squeeze those together. And there's the rubber flaps that are the culprits. I'll stop this video right now, and I'm going to start another one that shows one that I did yesterday on our 2004 that shows what went on here. I just wanted to show you the same repair that I did on our 2004 Camry yesterday, show you where we're headed. So I just used this, I had some leftover window screen from a project, and I just hot glued it around the, it's a little tough, it's not real even, but I used hot glue to put that on. I've used 1/4-inch mesh in the past on my 98s and 99s, and that worked great too, but it's a little harder to work with and get to you know, sit flush along the edges and that. So I thought I'd try window screen this time and hope that the mice don't chew through it, but at least it's easy to see. I can pull that tray out of the trunk and have a look and make sure there's no holes coming in. I can have a look at that from time to time. And just to show you what's kind of gone on here, so these rubber flaps, it appears that over time they start to warp a bit, and that, I think that's what exposes some light and maybe some odors out of your vehicle that attracts the mice, and lo and behold, they find their way in, and it looks like they've chewed this rubber flap here, and then that's a plenty big hole. Without that screen, there's lots, they can just come and go at their leisure. So hopefully this screen is going to look after it on this one, and now I'm going to carry on with the other fix on the 2010 here. So I've already cut this piece of screen to oversize, so and then I'll just trim the edges when we're done. And I'll grab my hot glue gun. Warmed up here. So I'm going to try and hit these ridges. Gotta go fairly quick with this stuff. So I'm going to get that bottom part first. It's a little hot on the fingers, but might want to use rubber gloves when you're doing it. I'm going to tough it out on this one. Get that bottom part first, and then after that cools, I just kind of work up these ridges. These ridges aren't all the same height, so I've just been, the last one I just hit these high ridges. I think there's 4 of them across here and the outside edge. Again, I'll do a little bit at a time. It's not real pretty, but it's a lot prettier than having the odor of mice in your car. You can also kind of push some through this way. I think that's probably good enough. We'll let that cool. And then what I'm going to do, I'll just trim the edges. With this screen I can just use scissors. If you're using the wire mesh, you'll need probably some tin snips or some side cutters. But that's the fix. Now I also thought about putting this screen on the back and just gluing it along the edges, but it's not it's not a consistent edge all around, and I thought that it might be a little tougher to get back in that compartment. It might rip the screen off when I was trying to push it back in the compartment. So I just stuck with doing it on the inside, and this way I'll be able to have a look at it from time to make sure they haven't chewed through the screen. So I'm using these heavy-duty scissors to cut this screen. I'm just being careful not to cut off these rubber tabs here. I'm not sure if it matters, but it seemed logical that you wouldn't want to cut them off, and that stuff cuts pretty easy with these scissors. Just finishing it up here to keep the video short. And then our next step then is going to be to put this back in the vehicle. And it's pretty much the reverse of what we did to take it out. And this screen, that's why I like this hot glue. It seems to hold really good. And see there's a bit of a loose spot there. Maybe I'll just touch that up a little bit. I guess you want to be careful too not to interfere with these clips. So yeah, I think we're good on this. We'll stick her back in. Okay, time to put the vent back in. This is going to be a little bit tricky because we have to push it through, and then pull it back so that all these clips latch, 3 across the top, 2 across the bottom. and it makes it a little bit tricky because we put this screen on here, so there's not really much to grab on. But what I found is you can usually grab from the outside edge, and probably you want to snap the top in first, and then there's this ledge across the bottom, and then you can pull the bottom ones in easy. So we'll go ahead and try this. Again, it takes a little bit of force. Okay, we got her pushed through. Now the trick is to get it sucked back in and get those clips latched. Make sure it's centered front to back. Make sure the edges are coming through. Okay, there we come. Alright. Kind of hear them click. There's the second one. I think the top ones are all latched there now. Yeah. Now the top ones are latched. It's pretty easy to pull the bottom ones in. Them in place. There, I think that's it. Not too bad. Didn't damage our gluing job on the screen at all. So I think we're good. Keep those pesky varmints out of here, hopefully.